Well, here we are the day after, and it's the mood that I really have kind of read from Texas fans: somber, disappointed, frustrated, and enough of what I have to think or say. I think what's best is having a guy who really played for the recent history, the heyday, Mac Brown, Stevie Lee, all the way from north of Austin, but the pride of Shreveport Evangel High School. Stevie, you and I have talked, either texted or in person, and we try to solve the issues. We got to remember this is the first year of Steve Sarkisian, and thanks for jumping on so late on a Sunday, man. What are your thoughts coming back from a former player who you went through a transition? It was you heard all the criticism early because people are so hungry for championships around here.
Yeah, thanks for having me on, man. No, it's and it's not late. I can talk football all day, any day. You can wake me up in the middle of the night. We'll talk some football.
I love it.
Football and real estate. That's all I know, man. So football is for fun. Real estate pays the bills, right?
Absolutely.
So, man, now, yeah. So when I got to Texas, Mac Brown was in his second year. I got here in 2000, so second, third year. And so, yes, this is a very difficult place to navigate. Let's just put it that way, as a coach. And so we got to remember right now. I mean, okay, so I was at the game.
Yeah.
And yes, it's disappointing to lose, right?
Yeah.
Sean, you're gonna know this about me more and more. I'm really a positive guy, right? I'm very, very positive. So what we got to remember is Shark has known these kids for 9 months, right?
Yeah.
Has it been 9 months?
Pretty
roughly 9 months, right? And so we're still trying to figure out everyone's personalities. The coaches are trying to figure out the players. The players are also trying to figure out the coaches, right? So it's a little bit it's a lot going on with that, with just trying to figure each other out. And so what I like to give them a little bit of a grace period, because personnel on the field, it could change, when you start to figure players out and things like that. And what are we? There was a fifth game yesterday, a sixth game yesterday.
Is it seventh? 4-3? Is that what? Or is it?
No, 2. We only lost 2 games, man. Come on.
Oh man, I don't want to add a third loss.
Yeah, don't put another loss on us, man. No, I'm sorry. No, we lost 3 games.
Is it 3? Is Arkansas, Arkansas, OU, OSU. 4-3. That's right.
Man. Yeah.
See?
So 4-3. Yeah. So just a little bit of grace right now, because we've only known each other for 9 months. And so it's gonna get better. I like them coming out and hitting someone in the mouth early on, right? So we know how to hit people in the mouth, right? And we know how to stay in our lane and do our job. It's when in the second half it kind of melts down for us, and we kind of stall in other games in the second half too. It's not just the games we lost, And so for me, with when I played, when we would come out and have a great first half, that means we were conditioned, ready to go, dogs coming out fighting in the first half. And then second half come around, if we are flat, that's actually a conditioning issue, right? That's so we get out of our game, and because if you're not conditioned, your body's not conditioned well, we start making mental errors, right? So when a DB is not coming over the top of a receiver, or we have busted coverages, we're getting tired, and then our brain starts to slip on the field.
Right.
I don't see a lot of people talking about this, but this really happens, And so we got to put that into consideration. The kids they're smart kids, they're here, right? And so making adjustments and things like that, the coaches make adjustments and things like that. So sometimes the players just forget because we're just, trying to get our win, right? And so I kind of saw a little bit of that towards the second half. And again, the strength and conditioning coach, he only had him for a few months before we had to start spring ball or spring ball and two-a-days and things like that. So so it's a lot going on right now. I still feel really good about the way the program's going. Like I said, you could not start a game better than we started against OU. You can't script that any better, right? And so the message to the team from me would be, we hit them in the mouth and we hit them good, guys. But this is a rivalry game in a neutral site. The stadium is split 50-50. They're going to hit us. And all we got to do is stay in our lane, right? When the ball is kicked in the end zone, just take the knee because that's what we talked about, right? You don't have to do anything outside of that. They're going to hit us in the mouth. We hit them. We're going to hit them right back, but we need to keep with our fundamentals, right? So stay with what you know. We're going to put you in the right places and for you to make plays. And that's it. That you just do your job. Each and every person do their job. We'll be fine. It's building, and I can see it. I can see it in the first half, and everyone see it. We come out all gas, no brakes, right? And then we get tired, and then we start to pump the brakes a little bit. That's my assessment of it. And so, I'm positive. I told you, I'm a positive guy. I stayed in the stands. Yes, it's disappointing, but when I'm on my way home, I'm like, we are going to be special though. We got a special quarterback that's going to even open up the playbook even more as the year go on this year and the offseason with a full year with these kids coming into next season. I feel really, really good.
And that's the positivity of the Stevie Lee. And I think the day after, I think that's what a lot of Longhorn fans and people who have been very loyal are feeling the same as well. As for the other elements, I think this soundbite here from Coach Sarkisian, I think it sounds genuine. He's always genuine, and he gives people more information than the politically correct crafted response. An element I didn't think of that he talks about right here is the psychological piece. You kind of mentioned that. I mean, listen to this. I mean, he's talking about psychologically, I wouldn't say be tougher mentally. I'll just let him say it. It really caught my attention after the game last night.
Somewhere in there, that's where I'm talking about that uncertainty in our mind and the cautiousness and not executing with a level of confidence like we do early in the game. Ultimately, that's on me. I've got to get that fixed and get us to a point to where we're believing in what we're doing like we're doing earlier in the ball game. Because football is 60 minutes, and this has been 2 weeks in a row where whether we're just trying to hold on as opposed to attacking, but we have to get it rectified because you can't play the way we played the second half of this game or the second half of last week's game and be the team that we want to be. The thing is, we're capable of it because we show it. Now we've got to sustain that throughout the whole entire ball game, and that is the issue, and that's what we got to get fixed.
Listen, so when was that? When did he say that?
That was last night after the game, after the loss to Oklahoma State yesterday afternoon.
Yesterday afternoon. So, listen, Sean, I'd never seen that before, and that's exactly what I was just saying to you, right? I think they owe me $5 million a year. Right?
Check is in the mail.
Yeah, man. But listen, that's exactly that was my assessment, man. I mean, we hit people in the mouth when we come out. We come out on fire, but it just kind of died down a little bit, And so either this is me being a little bit negative.
Hey, constructive criticism is encouraged.
Okay, constructive criticism. Either is the kids are their conditioning is a little bit off, or we're not making game time adjustments, right?
Mm-hmm.
One of the two. And two things can't be true. You know what I mean? So it's just there's a disconnect somewhere from the first half to the second half that we got to get corrected. And I think this is going to get corrected. There's 5 million reasons that he needs to get it corrected, right? Or upwards of 5 million, you know? So, you know, it's gonna be okay. I can feel it. It's just that hump that we got to get over.
Mm-hmm.
I like the hire that we made. You know, I like the moves that we're making on offense. I think that defense always take time when it's a new staff coming in, right? And these kids, how many defensive coordinators they've gone through in the last couple of years, you know? Exactly, right? So they're learning different schemes all the time, and that's hard. That's absolutely hard. Like I went through Bull Reese, Coach Carl Reese, and then all of a sudden Greg Robinson came in. I was like, I got to relearn all this foreign language, you know? So on top of staying on top of my book so I can graduate, you know? So it's hard. It really is hard. So time. We need time.
Time is of essence.
Yeah.
Now, if we want to be a little critical, just because of not critical on a personal level, but critical from what we saw and what fans saw, 4 straight 3-and-outs by the offense. And that left the defense on the field a lot.
Yeah.
Fatigue is what I think happened.
Yeah, the defense being on the field, that's the problem. So we got to get some drives, some sustainable drives, and it's kind of tricky because we got explosive players. Like we can get 3 plays and we're in the end zone and defense is back out there, you know. So you know, so it's a little tricky, but again, defense, we just got to be ready to go back in there. But 3-and-outs, we can't do 3-and-outs, right? So give me 7 plays at least and then score, you know, because we're just so explosive on offense in the beginning. But that if the defense has to come back on the field in 3, 4, 5 plays after a touchdown, we're not tired, you know. If we have to go back on the field after 3, 4, 5 plays after a punt, we're rolling our eyes and it's the body language, you know. We're tired. It's like, can we get some ball movement so we can sit over here for a little bit and get actually scheme for the next series, right? So, you know, you're right. The 3-and-outs, they hurt you. Then they don't just hurt the offense; they hurt the defense. Yeah.
One thing that was visible to the naked eye, and I know it was brought up in that press conference, and I know people were thinking it. I'm still trying to adjust to sitting in the stands and listening to people sitting around me that I wasn't used to for 21 years.
Absolutely.
The criticism. So people can say whatever they want, but I'm absorbing true constructive criticism that's visible, that's legitimate. And one was, why aren't we running Bijan more late in the game instead of getting throwing pass attempts to get 5 and 6 yards? Those were quotes repetitively. Your thoughts on that? I mean,
so first off is you're sitting in the wrong part of the stadium, right? So you need to come over there with my boys.
Yeah.
In section 17, we're in the end zone. This game, I had my boy Bo Baker, Robbie Doan, Greg Dolan. We're all just standing there, and you know, if there's criticism, they're saying it under their breath because they don't want a bad eye from one of us, right?
Right.
So it's fun, but yeah, I mean, you hear the rumblings, right? And so, I mean, Sean, you gotta, you know, those are armchair quarterbacks. What is it?
A lot of them.
Monday morning quarterbacking, you know, or in college football, it's Sunday morning quarterbacking, you know. So, don't worry about that, man. I mean, yeah, I mean, if you got a kid that's getting 6 yards of carry, just give him the ball, you know. So, but now they did start stacking the box though.
Yeah.
Right? And to where What Oklahoma State did, I saw in the stands. I haven't even watched I usually watch the game on TV when they replay it and things like that, but I haven't even done that. But what I did notice in the stands, and this is why I like my seats, because I see how we used to watch film when I played is the way I watch the game now too. They started stacking the box and said, "All right, guys, let Casey beat us with his arm," and they dared him to. And we had a pick six. So we were doing the right things by throwing it because the box was stacked so hard, so heavily, and there was just some missed balls, some miss catches, missed passes, and so those are the little things that we got to wrinkle out towards the end of the game and just be fundamentally sound towards the end of the game on little things like that.
One thing I do want to ask from you, because you went through the recruiting process, you've been a part of recruiting young men, young talents who've come through here since your time when I can't believe it's been that long. But what do you tell these fans? Because I've received some texts. I've heard it that it was a big recruiting weekend for Texas football.
Listen, I know where you're getting at, man. Listen.
What do you tell those people who question, well, that they're not going to have interest now? I mean, what do you tell those fans who may be watching, who may be the same people who said that?
Right. Listen. I'm a positive guy. After you said so many times, you're going to be like, this guy's really negative. I'm a positive guy, man. So if we had recruits in town and they come to a game that we lose and they say, I don't want to come here because they lose, I don't think we want them anyway. I want a kid that says, golly, that DB right there, he kind of messed up a little bit. I'm going to take his job when I get here. That's competition in practice, right? When you get here and you wear the Longhorn, when you wear Texas across your chest, we're going to be brothers anyway, but we're going to compete in practice, right? One of the things that got me here at the University of Texas was when Coach Brown said, I'm not going to give you anything. I'm not giving you anything, but you can compete for a starting spot. And I like that. It's going to be competitive every practice, right? So if a kid says, dang, they just losing, I'm going to go to a winning program. Go ahead. Bye. That's not the mentality we wanted anyway. We want kids that's going to help us win. We want kids that see a spot on the field and say, that's my spot right there. And then that kid that's here already can feel that breathing down his neck. He's going to compete even more. So, yeah, you got to go to the weight room, 3 to 4 times out of the week. I need that kid that's eyeing that spot that's in there 6 days a week. Not because the coach told him to get there, because I want that spot.
Right here.
We need dogs,
That's the key.
We need dogs that I want your spot. And that should be, frankly, the way Coach Brown presented the University of Texas to me, because I was one of those recruits that I could have chosen. I could have went anywhere I wanted to, My 5 official visits was top-notch universities that were really good at the time. And so me coming here was Coach Brown was just real. And while I was in school, all those other universities that I was looking at, coaches got fired while I was in school, right? So Coach Brown was the only one that was still here, right? And so, but he told me, he said, we're not going to give you anything. And I like that. I don't want a job given to me. Mm-hmm. I'm going to take a job, right? And then, and with that, we're just going to be better. Everybody, the cream is going to rise to the top. Everybody's going to be better. And we're going to have dogs that compete for their position on the field every day. And it's the next man up mentality, right? Because you have to compete for your position because this guy's still breathing down your neck. Unfortunately, injuries happen in football. So that next man, he's competed for a position on the field. So he's gonna fit right back in. So those are the kind of recruits we want anyway. And if any recruits are out there watching, or anything like that. We want you here, but we want you to want to be here and not given to you. You know, we're not going to give anything to you here. We're going to take care of you when you're done. You're going to have a brotherhood when you're done, but you're going to work when you get here, you know, and it's going to be nothing given to you, and you got to take it.
Hey, and that mentality continues in the post-football world.
Yeah.
I think you and I we both learned that quickly in our chosen professions. Hey, parting words from you to the Longhorn Nation who may be checking out or are having just negativity build up. I mean, I understand the bar is high, expectations. There was change. There was hope. There still is hope.
Mm-hmm.
You know, they honestly, mathematically, playing for a Big 12 championship still exists.
Okay.
I mean, it still exists.
Yeah.
What are your words of advice to this fan base?
Listen, man, we've been here here of late. We've been here before. But I think that we need a little bit of time. And I can see it now. I can see that we're starting to get the ball rolling. We're just hang in there. It's going to be fun. I promise you, it's going to be fun here shortly. We get the right recruits in here. You know, us changing from the Big 12 over to the SEC. It's all positive. I'm a positive guy, guys. It's all positive, man. So just hang in there. Yeah, we have a first-year coach. We have a first-year starting quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
And we had a quarterback, debacle starting off because these guys are just not learning these guys. Like I said, the coaches are learning the players are still learning the coaches. Give them a year. Give them a year to learn each other and figure out their personalities. You start a new job, don't you get, 90 days? That's 3 months.
Probation period, yeah.
Probation period. We're still in the probation period when it comes to these kids, So hang in there, stick with us. It's going to be fun, I promise.
Hey, even if it's 11 a.m. kickoff, people still need to show. I'm as exhausted of 11 a.m. kickoffs as anyone else, to be honest with you, Stevie. Hey, for me, just my appreciation for you, how can people get in touch with you for those on the market for a home?
Man, there are plenty of ways to get in touch with me. I'm Stevie Lee. I'm positive, right? So stevie.lee@compass.com. That's my email. Or slee@stevieleeproperties.com. That's my other email. You can always reach out to me on Instagram, Stevie Lee 65 on Instagram, Stevie J Lee on Twitter. So anything, anytime, just reach out, man. I like I said, I know football and I know real estate. I think I know real estate a little bit better than I know football now, though. But this
I can endorse you. I can endorse you quite a bit. And also people who visit his Instagram page, it's well worth it. It's well worth a follow, especially the antics between he and his wife, Summer.
Yeah,
that is a show within itself.
Hey, man, she gets on me too. Hey, listen, my wife is a bigger fan than I am, man. She grew up in Texas. She's she cheered at Texas. She's a Texas cheerleader. She thinks she's still a Texas cheerleader. The Texas cheer alumni game is coming up, and they get to pay to be on the field and cheer with the alumni for the games. And I'm like, what's this $300 coming out? She's like, I want to cheer the whole game. I'm cheering the whole game, all 4 quarters. I'm cheering. And I'm like, you know what? You go for it. You're not 40 yet. You got it, babe. Just go.
You're not 40 yet.
Yeah, man. But she's a bigger fan than I am, man. And so leaving the stadium yesterday, I'm like, babe, I'm a positive guy. So I got to pick my wife up because she's critical of everybody. You get her on this podcast, she will not hold her tongue. I promise you. It's fireworks, man.
We've got to make that happen. That would be.
No, that's not what you want. They'll kick me out of the stadium.
Well, I tell you what, I personally enjoy watching you and all the pranks you play on your Summer and your daughters. It's a beautiful family. The Lee family is.
I appreciate it, man. I'm actually a humbled, blessed man. I really enjoy. I'm having a really good time with my 14 and 11-year-old. It's a fun time right now.
Shocking, you have a teenager and a preteen, man. That's just
It is shocking.
that's
how
life.
that's how I got all gray. People are like, man, you're young. How you get all this gray hair? And I said, I got 2 daughters and a high maintenance wife, man. I'm like, whoa. Yeah, she's gonna kill me for saying that, you know.
Summer.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, that gray,
Yeah.
all that is. See, you don't see it on me because
You keep
I
it low.
buzz it. It's wisdom.
It's wisdom.
Signs of wisdom.
Okay.
That
That's what we want to call it, man.
Well, brother, I appreciate it.
No
And
problem.
for the great Stevie Lee and the Man Cave podcast, OGs, Hardball Hards, Coach Mo, and Mike Murphy, we out.